Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also a author of gay, lesbian, and straight romances under the name KT Grant, and I'm also a blogger known as Katiebabs, who runs her own blogs, Babblings about books and more. And I'm here to tell you that it does get better. I'm a survivor of bullying myself, but it wasn't because of my sexual orientation. It's just because it was me. I grew up very awkward. I had glasses. I had a haircut that made me look like a boy. And my bullying started as young as 6 years old when I was in first grade. And it started as teasing. Basically, I wasn't invited to birthday parties. I didn't have play dates. It was pretty much alone. And then it started getting worse. I was called stupid, ugly. I was very tall for my age, actually the tallest girl in my class. And because of that, I was called fat. And it escalated around when I was 9 years old, and this boy who would bully me threw me into the girls' bathroom. And at the time, I thought he just wanted to beat me up, but now, after having a flashback, I realized he almost raped me. But that was put a stop to it because I told my parents. But the bullying didn't. And by 12 years old, I had actually befriended one of my biggest bullies, this girl who basically told me nobody cares if I live or dies, and it's better if I go to kill myself. It got so bad at 12 years old that I had thoughts of suicide. And I almost killed myself twice. I used to walk home from school with my little sister. We went to a Catholic school where I was there from kindergarten to 8th grade. And as I'm walking home, I try to set up a way that when I crossed the street, before the crossing guard would stop me or my little sister, who's 3 years younger than me, the car would hit me at the perfect time. And that would be the end of me. But I didn't do it. Part of the reason is because of my little sister, and she looked up to me and I was her friend. So I stopped from doing that. The second time was through, it was a really bad time. I would come home crying almost every day, and my parents just said, "You'll get through it. Ignore them. Smile. They're jealous." But what parents don't understand with their children is that when they're in the moment and they feel there's nowhere else to turn, they don't have any last resort. So one day I took a knife out of my kitchen, went up to my bedroom, laid it against my wrist, and almost slashed my wrist. And I sat there, and two things were going through my head. The what ifs. What if I did this? And the freeze. It gets better, which is kind of ironic since this whole thing with it gets better just kept going through my head. It gets better. It has to get better. At 12 years old, my life can't be over. And I thought about all those things that if I did slash my wrists and just faded away, what I wouldn't be able to accomplish. I wouldn't be able to drive a car. I wouldn't be able to go to college. I wouldn't see the world. I wouldn't write a book. And I thought, why am I going to give those people who can't stand me for some reason, why would I let them win? Because the minute I'm gone from this world, they're not going to care. Bullies don't care. They'll probably even go, "Hey, Kate did something great. We got rid of her. Isn't that awesome? Let's move on to our next victim." So I decided to put down that knife and thought, you know what? My revenge is going to live to be as old as I can be and have a natural death, knowing that I'm alive and they see me every day and they could be disgusted by me. That's my revenge. Knowing I sicken them just by being in this world is my revenge. The bullying still went on, but it got better. I think part of it was I no longer cared. I was kind of lucky that it wasn't physical abuse. It was more mental and emotional. But I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna let these people bother me anymore. I was able to go on and all these things I wanted to do. One of the main reasons that I decided to put down that knife is I wanted to go to Disney World. I had gone once before and I wanted to go again. And I'm like, if I kill myself, I'm not going to see Mickey, Minnie, or any of them. So after leaving the school, I went on to high school, which for me wasn't as bad as my grammar school years. I went on to college. I joined a sorority. I became vice president of my sorority. I, 10 years, basically 10 years after I decided to put down the knife, I went to Disney World. It was my third time. And my sister was there with me. And I think one of the reasons that is because of her. Because she looked up to me and she cared for me. And my parents, in their own way, they did too. And you think about it. There's almost 7 billion people in this world. There's over 300 million people in the United States. You're telling me that you don't belong? That it won't get better? You will belong somewhere. You will feel important. You'll go on and you'll live. I'm not saying it's always easy. There's always going to be bullies out there. There's going to be small-minded people who don't like you because of who you love, of what you look like, of what you are. And you know what? Like I said, the biggest revenge you can give is living a full life and basically showing them every day that you're important to this world. That you're important. And finally, karma is a bitch. There's good karma and there's bad karma. And a few years after I graduated college, I saw that woman, a girl who is now a woman, who was the biggest bully, who was the one that told me to go kill myself. And seeing her, let's just say, karma really did work for me. What more can I say? It gets better. You get through it. And yeah, take it from me. I'm 34 years old and I'm a survivor of bullying and I'm living proof that it does get better.